there, but I am safe and I am warm. Although it's hard, I know I gotta keep up. No time to lay to drift away. I find my space, I spend my time down the rabbit hole again. And as I fall, I can feel the pain. You can't tell me where to go, so I don't know, I just go with the flow. I go with the flow. I'm falling up, I'm falling down, from the sky and from the ground. Up above just like below, and I don't know where I should go. 'Cause I'm stuck in limbo. I'm out of love, but I guess I deserved it. Trying to hide, to pass you by. I'm getting down, feeling fine. I'm light as air, no one can reach me. Lost in a dream, lost in between. Let's keep on flying, let's keep on breathing. I'm falling up, I'm falling down, from the sky and from the ground. Up above just like below, and I don't know where I should go. 'Cause I'm stuck in limbo. Cause I'm stuck in limbo. Cause I'm stuck in limbo.
Living in the same routine, like the seasons I'm on repeat. It's a long way down. Trying not to follow suit. Don't like the color, I'll change the shade of it. I'm not afraid of it. I know I'm holding on to this, holding on. change, but so can you. So can you. For too long about the mistakes, while I resent, I learned to hate. Forgot your names. Fear the struggle to follow on. Need to focus to prove you're wrong. I'm not wrong. I know I'm holding on to this. Holding on. I know I'm holding on to this. Holding on. Don't let me repeat it. Don't let me repeat it. I know I'm holding on to this. Holding on. Holding on. Holding on. Holding on. Holding on.
Cigarette ash, it looks like snow. When it falls in the wind, you know. And you, oh you say you wanna dance. You're wary, you know, you'll end up in the wrong hands. And you're having fun. Why don't you show your friends? And you're having fun. What if it never ends? I'm lacking sincerity, but you don't care at all. This booze, lit cigarettes trying to take me home. Falling in love just a million times, breaking it off with the feeling on ice still. She's as cold as December. I swear I've seen you before, holding your shoes in your hands, running out that door. And you are nothing, but you say you wanna dance. And you're wary, you know, you'll end up in the wrong hands. you kiss me, it's like the stars fall out the sky onto my heart to cover up what I don't wanna show. I let you in deeper than I let anyone else before. Fell in love with my broken pieces, took them all and made them yours. Didn't know what my heart be needing, skipping out, no I can't keep score. When I lose my breath, boy, you got me breathing. Oh, every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Ooh, you take me higher. Ooh, you take me higher, baby. You take me higher. Ooh, you take me higher, baby. You take me higher. Ooh, you take me higher, baby. You take me higher. Yeah, you take me higher, baby.
Welcome, everybody. We've got some NECC coming at you right away here very soon. We've got a Champions Mid-East matchup coming at you in just a few minutes. I'm Paladino here with Camcom. How are you doing tonight?
Hello, I'm doing pretty good. I'm excited for our rescheduled match here tonight. We do have a week 6 matchup from Champions Mid East. So even though we are technically on week 7, both of these teams have double headers tonight. This is their week 6 matchup, and then they will also be playing their week 7 matchup here later tonight. But NKU taking on the Michigan Tech Huskies tonight for our week 6 rescheduled game.
Yeah, should be an exciting one. Both these teams doing fairly well so far. NKU at 4-1 on the year. Michigan Tech at 3-2. We've got the lineup right here. You can see how everybody's faring out so far. NKU number 2 in Champions Mid-East, and Michigan Tech Huskies right behind them at number 4. So both these teams doing very, very well so far here in the fall split of the Champions Mid-East. And like you mentioned, it is a rescheduled matchup from week 6 here in week 7. So it should be an interesting one. We have already seen the draft, just waiting for them to get it done in client. Who are you favoring so far, knowing that both these teams have had a pretty good split so far?
Ooh, who am I favoring?
I know it's a
I
tough question. It is,
very early on, before we
yeah,
even get to
before the
see the
draft.
drafts. Let's see. I want to go with Huskies. I like Husky. There's an animal in the name, NKU. There's no animal in the name, so just Huskies are cute. Let's go with Huskies for tonight. I'm gonna be a Huskies fan. Back to the standings. I wanted to talk about that a little bit. Was NKU, you saw them tied kind of second and third place with Florida Tech. There is one single game between the two of them, NKU having one less loss than Florida Tech. And importantly enough, that is their Week 7 matchup as well. So they'll be playing that match later tonight after this game. So win this game, win that game. You probably lock yourself first if you can 2-0 series score here today.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's so important as we get later and later on in the year. We get into playoffs. These games really, really start to count. Early
Yeah.
on, we see a lot of teams try and focus on figuring things out, how you're going to play. But now's the time of year you really have to pick up steam. And we've seen both these teams do that with lots of wins coming in their past few weeks. But it should be an exciting one. I like your theory here. I think, favoring the Huskies. They've got an
Huskies
animal.
are cute.
Yeah, Huskies are cute. You can't go wrong. It's a nice pick.
That's my
But
analysis, yes.
exactly. We've got the rosters coming at you now. Michigan Tech up first. 67 in the top lane. Porona Box in the jungle. Big Bard in the mid. Chungus Potion. And Oblivion Eyes there down bot lane.
Couple of seniors and graduate students there on that roster as well. But moving over to NKU Varsity, you got Chaos Rot in the top lane. NKU Goo5 is how I was told to say it. Their jungler Ice Alarm in the mid lane, and then Steph Top and Irish down there in the bot lane as well. Some very upperclassmen matchups here today. Multiple grad students as well, which I find quite funny.
Yeah, it's not something we usually see, but I feel like I talk about it quite a bit in all of these NECC games. But I really do think there's a lot of value to be put into teams that have some upper level students. When you
Yeah.
come in as a freshman and a sophomore, you're kind of learning the ropes a little bit more, trying to get the hold of things. But a lot of these guys have been on these rosters for a long, long time. They've played collegiate competitive, even here in the NECC, for multiple years. And they've got kind of an understanding of how the games are going to go, how they want to play the game, and it can give them an advantage. But even on the other side, lots of juniors, they have that experience as well. So should be a very competitive series here starting in just a few minutes.
Yeah, particularly in the Huskies bot lane, we keep talking about grad students. Their bot lane are both of
Yeah.
the grad students. So if you want synergy in any lane, you get mid jungle or you get bot lane. So the fact that, assuming that since they're both grad students, they've probably been playing together for many, many years through college or however long that they have been together, right? So you can expect to see, I would say, pretty good things here from the Huskies bot lane, just based on we're grad students. We've been playing together for a hot minute as we do get to move into draft. No spoilers here in the draft. We've got some fun bot lanes, Paladino.
Yeah, they should be pretty exciting. We'll see those here in just a few minutes. But first, we've got the first rotation of bans. So Pantheon and Caitlyn banned away first, followed up by the Aatrox and the Blitzcrank on the opposite side.
I find it funny to compare bans between what is good in pro play and what is good in solo queue. And the Aatrox and the Blitzcrank are so opposite ban reasons, right? Like Aatrox is the 100% picker ban right now in pro play in Worlds, and then Blitzcrank is like, he's really good in solo queue. He's like top 5 win rate junglers right now in solo queue. So, but you would never ever see Blitzcrank in pro play. So it's just very funny that you see the complete opposite reasons. Now we get to see the top sides locked in. Belveth very recently picked in semifinals for Worlds as well, kind of making a comeback a little bit in play rate, but still I would consider a fairly new champion to comp in general.
Yeah, most definitely. Very, very new. Not only just new to the game in general, but kind of fell off for a little bit, picked up by a couple of those Eastern teams, like you mentioned, in semifinals at Worlds. So the top side here for NKU, Sejuani Belveth with the Syndra. And then for the opposite side for Michigan Tech, they're going to opt for Gragas Trundle as well as the Vex. The Syndra, an interesting pick. I like with Sejuani. A little bit more melee. That's just what I prefer in my solo queue games if I have a Sejuani. But Syndra is so good right now, just for scaling, can output so much damage. After the rework, her laning phase is a little weaker, but gets so strong when you get those splinter stacks, when you get to 2 or 3 items. But we'll see the comps finished off now. So we'll see Lucian Braum in the bot lane, and then on the opposite side, it's going to be a Twitch and a Nami picked up.
Twitch Nami, not a bot lane that you get to see very often, but through the pick order of the draft, it does actually kind of make sense. So from NKU, it was a first pick B1 Lucian. So you can only assume that they're trying to pair that with Lucian Nami. I saw Lucian and I was like, okay, they're going to pick Lucian Nami here. And then the immediate response from the Huskies was, let's R1 Nami, take it away. So that's why they paired the Twitch also on R2 with the Nami. It's a little bit of a strange pairing, but it is a very good takeaway pick. And then Braum was later actually saved all the way to the second round B4 for the NKU.
Yeah, I mean, I really like the snap takeaway of the Nami on R1. I think it's really strong. Lucian, of course, kind of desperately needs an Enchanter just to really have a bully lane phase. Can still do well with the Braum. Obviously, Braum passive is always going to be strong, especially with someone like a Belveth in the jungle, but could make his laning phase a little bit weaker. I'm interested that they went with the Twitch on R2. I think something like a Kaisa synergizes a little bit better, especially if you think you're going to go towards that Vex. You really have a dive-heavy comp. Gragas can obviously play make as well, but should be an interesting one. I know you already talked about favoring the Huskies because they're the Huskies, but now that we have seen the full drafts here on stream, what are your thoughts going into game one?
Well, I can't back down now. I said I'm a Huskies fan for today, so now I got to give some more analytical reasons. Is that a word? It was on my brain. Is that a word? I don't know, but analytical reasons here for why the Huskies can win. Twitch Lulu, you get this lane a couple of kills in laning phase. If Twitch, for example, comes out of laning phase like 2-0, even 3-0 in a best case scenario, that is a very easy 1v9 angle for him. It's a very low range comp. The only thing that he can really get picked off by is the Syndra stun. So if they waste that stun, Twitch can just run in Lulu, or not Lulu, I'm saying Lulu in my head. Nami E on him. He's going to do crazy, crazy damage in the late game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think I talked about it a little bit when we saw the pro draft. Twitch laning phase is, of course, very weak, but known to be able to scale up. Obviously, it's a little tougher when you're laning against a Lucian just because he does want to kind of bully and get some advantages in the early lane. Doesn't have the Enchanter to back him up with heals, shields, and some enhanced damage. But with the Braum passive, if a Q lands, especially post level 6, it's really easy to get all in by a Lucian lane. But it's definitely kind of snowbally on either side, because if Twitch comes out 2-0, can definitely 1v9 like you said.
Yeah.
But if he comes out 0-2, it becomes way harder for them to get anything done in regards to damage, at least consistently. You know, with Vex, you're going to go all in. You try to blow somebody up right away with the Shadow Surge. But if you don't have a Twitch to kind of put in that DPS, it becomes a lot harder in the late game 5v5.
And you may ask yourself, why are we talking so much about bot lane? Well, let's take a quick look at the top side matchup here. You got tank versus tank in top lane. You got mage versus mage in the mid lane here. Vex may be assassin mage, right? But still, this is mage versus mage. Just prediction on paper wise, there shouldn't be any solo kills. There shouldn't be much action. We're fighting, or we're farming up until about 20 minutes for those ever important dragon stacking, which I think does favor NKU a little bit. They do have a Belveth very similar to that of a Nunu. You can farm these dragons super easily on this champion. The second you hit level 6 on Belveth, you're immediately booking that to the Rift Herald or the dragon or whatever's up at that time.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, not only does Belveth take those neutral objectives quickly, you really, really need them. Belveth pretty desperately needs that true form, and you can at the very least guarantee it by taking those neutral objectives, whether it's the Drake, and of course the Rift Herald is always such a priority for Belveth, becomes so strong when she can spawn those little gremlins in any lane and essentially take down any
babies.
tier ones. Yeah, they're gremlins babies. It's pretty much the same thing, but we'll be starting game one here very, very soon. Should be an exciting one. We've already seen some interesting comps. Like you said, nothing too crazy in both solo lanes. Shouldn't be too many solo kills. I mean, we kind of know that to scale up, needs 2 or 3 items to really, really get strong. Vex, of course, like you said, kind of an assassin mage, wants to dive on in and get those kills later on in the game. But should be an interesting one. Both teams with decent frontline for their AD carries. It's really just execution from both sides. Who can execute better and give themselves leads, as we progress through game one.
Yes, and just as a reminder, once again, NKU on the blue side here, fighting for their spot for first place. They win this game, they win their series after this one later today as well. I do believe that will secure them first place. Meanwhile, Huskies currently fighting for maybe a tie for first, maybe a tie for second. They could definitely get up there in the leaderboards if they win this series and their next one, but I don't believe they're in contention for first place as close as NKU is. But still, very important match. You want to get that first place out of group stage to just secure yourself a better seeding for playoffs.
Oh, most definitely. I mean, this Champions Mideast top of the roster is just so stacked. Everyone really, really close. I mean, NKU with the win here, like you said, regain control and take control, excuse me, of first place. But the Huskies are only one game behind. I mean, if they win this one, they'd be instantly become tied with NKU following this series. So very, very close race. Even if they're not as close in contention to regain sole control of first, it gives them that spot to, make sure they get a good playoff seeding, which is so, so vital in trying to make a deep run after you finish off the regular season.
And yeah, I just confirmed as well. It would actually be NKU locking first place. They did take down the other team that is currently holding first place, so they have tiebreaker over them.
Yeah.
So you win this game, you win the next series, then you should 100% take that for yourself here for NKU. Absolutely have to play super, super well here for today's series, which hopefully should be starting soon.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get some soon. I mean, it's not bad. See the B-roll. It's all very nice. We get the video. See the Bear and Nasher spawning in now. I think the last time we cast together, we talked about our favorite spawning in animations during a pause.
Oh, yes.
Baron's a good one. I guess we've already discussed which ones we like the most as we wait for game to start.
I think I said Gromp was my favorite.
Gromp is good. You get the little baby frog.
Yeah. I like how you get the little baby, and then also on the Oracle, you can only see the little baby. Like, if you
That's
Oracle frog, you know how you don't actually see the whole frog, you just see the little baby frog. Very, very cute. I don't know if it's an Easter egg or, like, little baby frog. Very cute.
Yeah, it is. There's lots of little things across League of Legends that are, they add in, whether it's intentional or not, or just to be funny. It's always exciting to kind of note out interesting things. One of my favorites, of course, I like that every once in a while you'll see the little duck in the river when you come in at the beginning of the game. That's a good one that was pointed out to me when I first started playing, and now I check for it every game.
I've heard that the duck is a 1 in 10 chance to spawn in, but on Tournament Realm, the magical backend programmer people can crank that up to 100% chance. I don't know how true that is.
Yes, we got the duck. Let's go.
This isn't even Tournament Realm. Let's go. And the froggy, beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
This is what we like to see. This is the type of content that we're looking for here. In the Champions Mideast, but nothing too spicy here at level 1. Everyone just opting for a 5-point start. I'm interested to see where both these junglers opt to start, whether they opt to path towards the bot or the top lane. I think you can justify either side if you want, but we could see some action here as Poro potentially caught out by Goo5, but he's just going to walk on out. Keep in mind, Bard just did use the fear, and Steph Top comes on in, gets some first strike gold. Not too much here at level 1, but 15 gold or so definitely is not going to hurt. But now that they've seen the Lucian walk on top, we'll see Desper and Chungus walk in to the bot side river, but they'll just head on back. It looks like junglers will be starting on opposite sides, with Goo5 taking this red buff, and Poro is going to get a leash from 67 on his own red buff.
Yeah, like you said, nothing much traded other than some gold. You got 20 gold going over Desper because of the Spell Thief, and of course 10 gold for Steph Top because of the First Strike Lucian. First Strike Lucian, I want to talk about a little bit for this rune, has been popping up a lot more recently, and it is surprisingly good in long-range matchups. You would think PTA would be the rune for Lucian in long-range matchups, but in actuality, the damage and obviously the gold value that you can get, especially in the early levels, is what you actually want for this type of just lane dominant fully champion, and that First Strike does actually provide it a lot better in recent patches than PTA.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the First Strike, you can get a quick proc with W, you're almost always going to outrange somebody, and then a full combo already does so much damage that with the damage buff of First Strike, just feels very, very nice for someone like a Lucian. Bot lane does have to be careful. It is, short range AD carry with a melee support, laning against double ranged with the Nami Twitch, but just some early trading going on with some farming across all 3 lanes so far. We'll see. It'll be a full clear, or at least the beginnings of one for Goo5, whereas Poro just decided to take away that red buff and then go for the faster clear, going Red Wolves into now Gromp, skipping on the blue buff for now. We'll see if he tries to make a play here on any of the lanes, hovering towards mid now. But looks like Ice Alarm will be just fine. Kind of notices it out and makes his way to safety.
Yeah, I think Big Bard taking that electrocute as well just kind of shows that you are playing a little bit more for that laning phase. So really, Poro in a box, I don't think he's playing for any ganks, right? You're farming to level 6, you're trying to play for objectives, and that is really why you picked the Trundle. It's also a little bit of a counter pick to both the Sejuani and the Bel'Veth, but other than that, you don't really get to play the first 10 minutes, so your only real gankable lane, I would say, is mid lane and bot lane. You're just kind of hoping Twitch Lulu don't die.
Yeah, as long as they survive, I mean, even if they come out of lane 0-0-0 with a good farm lead, or at least even in farm, you have to imagine that the Twitch is always going to outscale. But we've got some fighting here over at this top side. Crab, Gu5 trying to take it away, but it's getting collapsed on now by 67. Gonna dash on out for now. E-Flash will land. Gu5 forced the flash as well. Flash comes out from the Trundle. Flash forward from Bard. Drops the E for the damage reduction, but it will not matter. First blood going over the Big Bard. Nice play. Get a lot of flashes, but that's good to see from Michigan Tech. They all commit. We need to get this first kill. They grab it right away and secure the Crab as well. Nice play. Nice coordination from the Huskies.
Yeah, really, really nice. Just immediate collapse there by the Huskies. Like you said, they did burn 3 flashes for only the 1 from Gu5. I think Big Bard should be okay there. Yeah, he's fine. But yeah, you got the scuttle, you got the kill as well onto your mid laner, which, like I said, the Vex, he took electrocute. He's trying to play for laning phase. He's trying to dominate this lane as much as a mid-game mage kind of really can. And giving him that first blood should be very helpful, especially onto the jungler, which it was actually a double scuttle for Poro in a box as well. So just kind of setting back Gu5, really needing that level 6 to actually make his champion worth something. Oh, okay.
Oh,
wow.
67 with the solo kill. I didn't know if he had the damage running so low on mana and no cooldowns, but picks it up with the enhanced auto attack, had the grasp as well. So a solo kill for 67. That feels so good. You already collapsed on to Gu5 to get that kill. You missed a little bit of XP, but still has the CS lead, and with the solo kill helps out so much. Now with this reset, gonna be able to get a pretty nice back, but Bard could be in some trouble here with no flash. Keep in mind, Ice Alarm does have flash, but Gu5 does not. Needs to land this W. Sidestep will not go. The stun gonna come through, and you have to imagine Bard will die. Gu5 picks up the kill on the enemy mid laner.
Gu5 showing that he doesn't like being double scuttled. He doesn't like being collapsed on by both the solo laners, and will make his name known in the mid lane, picking 1 back up in return. And this top lane, I mean, it's tank versus tank, but if you make some sort of heavy misplay like that, then absolutely you will be punished. As I kind of talked through the solo kill. I'm very sorry. I thought for sure
No,
that
it's okay.
Chaos Rot would live, and then he just didn't, and I'm like, oh no, oh, the bubble mist. Oh,
Yeah, very close. I mean, it is, like you mentioned, it is tank versus tank, but it is Gragas with Grasp. But now Irish 2 could be in some trouble here. Poro in a box, trying to make a play, gonna use the pillar onto Steph top. Still has the slow dash forward. Bubble will not land, and be flashed away, but it will land on Irish 2. He'll flash away himself. Ignite will not do enough, so he will survive. 67 with a level lead, drops the explosive cast, and Chaos Rot in a lot of trouble. Remember, no flash on this Sejuani on the wrong side of the rift. 67 picks it up. They're going to look for a play now on Big Daddy Bard, but the Shadow Surge doesn't even need it. Gets the reset, however, onto Ice Alarm. Has Poro in a box right behind him. Going to take it away. No fear quite yet. The E will land. Ice Alarm very, very low, but surviving for now.
Pillar.
The pillar was doing so much work, but the ult going to get the job done. The pillar blocking Big Daddy Bard and Poro in a box from getting on to Ice Alarm. He uses it to his advantage a little bit and gets the kill back in the 1-for-1.
Dang, I thought for sure that the pillar was going to just pretty much kill Ice Alarm. If it was put pretty much like 1 pixel more forward, like more north, I guess you could say, that would have probably killed him. But it was just 1 pixel too low, and with that, it also ended up blocking both the Vex and the Trundle from following Ice Alarm up. And yeah, just really nice punish, really nice outplay coming out from Ice Alarm. And meanwhile, on the top side, again, I mean, I thought it was going to be quiet. Again, I just keep being proven wrong. 67, he is up there. He's getting 2 solo kills, now able to just set up a permanent freeze. That is how he could get that level 6, level 5 lead. And with that, obviously able to pick up yet another solo kill. Looking for 3 for 3 now for 67.
Yeah, doing such a good job getting some work done. And I think, like I was mentioning before, we saw so much action across all 3 lanes. Even though it is tank versus tank, I mean, it is still Grasp Gragas. When he has Grasp up with the W enhanced auto, he's going to do so much damage. Gu5 trying to make a play. The W will land on to Big Daddy Bard. The stun will as well from the Syndra, and Ice Alarm gets the kill. So we'll see Gu5 clearly favoring towards the scaling mid laner. Giving Ice Alarm over 2 kills helps him out so much. And just being able to get to this point where he can do so much damage. But 67 still trading very aggressively onto Chaos Rot with this level lead. It looks like NKU will opt to try and take away this first Drake.
Oh my god.
As we're still seeing even more aggressive trading in the top side with the level lead. Chungus Potion trying to get them off of it. But it is a 4v3 with Bard walking out of base. So they'll just have to sacrifice this one over, head back, and try to grab as much XP from that bot wave as they can.
Belveth picking up her level 6 from, I believe, the assist on Big Bard there in the river. So just immediately, like, not even clearing a camp after that. Left straight, go to Dragon. We have bot prow. We have mid prow with the enemy mid laner being dead and just now getting a little bit, or they do have their full, I don't know, golden form. I don't know what it's, true form, whatever it's called. The Stingray that goes flap flap even more, right? So you do get to full clear bot side, full clear top side. This is the power of Belveth. It is a super snowball champion, possibly the most snowball champion in the game, where you get 1 kill past level 6, you can immediately take both the objectives, throw the Rift Shield somewhere, take 2 towers with it because of how fast your attack speed is, and there's just not much that Huskies can really do to stop it if you do play it correctly here for Gu5.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so good to be able to spike onto your true from 67, try to make a play on a Chaos Round. He remains alive for now. The Ignite ticking, does not have the stun quite yet. Will not go through, just needs to block it, and it'll be a shutdown going over to Gu5. Nice play, but the Shadows, good job done on the Chaos Round. But now Big Daddy Bard in some trouble. Flat away. Does have access to the reset if he wants to use it. This might be in a trade, but going down on the portal in a box. Has the Ice Alarm just going to right away. That means Rift Hero Bubble cannot keep the jungle alive. If N can try to change their focus here to taking away this Rift Herald for themselves. Looks like that's the call here for 5. Remember, Big Bard with no access to the ultimate and no flash. Going to try and get Gu5 off this Rift Herald, but does have plenty of members nearby to let him one up. Ice Alarm and Irish 2 both going to walk up the bar. We see 67 and 4-1 a box both heading that way as well. It will be a 4v4, but if you look in the top side, Chaos Rot not moving quite yet. The Rift Herald will be picked up by Gu5, going to try to drop into the true form, but gets CC'd out of it and will drop. Big Bard picks up the kill. Thankfully, you do get the Rift Herald, so you have that benefit at the very least. But so damage coming out of Ice Alarm. You do get the Rift, you drop for it, unfortunately. Some more aggressive trading in the top, but we'll see if it results too much. 67 and Chaos Rot just smacking each other around with their own separate grass procs. Cube and Chaos Rot just going to try and grab some farm up here, but now on the wrong side of the rift with access to the explosive cast. This could mean trouble for Chaos Rot. Not doing too much damage to 67, but 67 plenty to him. Waiting on that Q cooldown, but just getting blocked away. 67 going further solo kill. The grass proc might keep him alive for a little bit long, but 67 gets the job. 3 solo kills now for this Gragas, and even though it'll be tank Gragas, not that AP build once in a while is solo queue. If your tank can get this many solo kills, he should just get strong and so quickly, which definitely means trouble like Steph top on Lucian.
Wow, that was like 4 fights in a row. Good job, Paladino.
Thank you.
You know, just casually like 3 fights for Rift Herald and then a solo kill in top lane. I wanted to talk about how well the Huskies set up vision and like prio-wise. You saw that both of the solo lanes had pushing lanes. They had prio. They had full vision in the entire river. Like there was nowhere in the river that NKU could walk directly on a ward. But then there was a kill top lane. There was just a really good collapse from Gu and Chaos Rot on the top side that resulted in 67 dying. And then that was what the Rift Herald really was able to come off from. And I'm very scared because there's just constantly kills. Throw the box, please.
Yeah, flashing away, but still alive for now. Not using the subjugate, just using the flash gets him to safety. The culling drop by Steph top as well does not get the job done. A nice rotation forces out the summoner spell from the Trundle, helps out pretty much every lane with no access to be able to use the flash aggressively. So means they can play a little bit safer. Not much action in the bot lane in this game like we expected, but both these solo lanes, a lot of kills to both mid laners, truthfully, from nice rotations from Big Bard, and then of course 67 popping off with the solo kills in the top lane as well.
67 playing super, super well. Doesn't have an Unleashed teleport available quite yet, but still is able to teleport here in the mid lane.
The Shadow Surge coming out from Big Bard, but will drop in the 1-for-1. Goes on a killing spree, picking up Gu5, but hands over the shutdown to this already pretty strong Ice Alarm on Syndra. Nice work from him to make sure to at least make it a 1-for-1. We do see, like you mentioned, not an Unleashed teleport, but a regular TP to defend the dive. But that will mean that he misses out on just a little bit here in the top lane. But with the Drake spawning, we could see Michigan Tech try to opt to take this one away and stop the Dragon Stack for NKU. But we will definitely see Gu5 walking out of this one, walking to base, heading towards this Drake. A teleport coming out from Ice Alarm as well into the mid lane. But this one already taken pretty low. I don't think they can get there in time. They'll just give this one over and probably, it looks like, drop this Rift Herald in the mid lane to inflate the Syndra with even more gold.
Yeah, it was a little bit of an awkward timing there for NKU to try and contest the dragon because their jungler just died and Ice Alarm was forced to recall. So even though he could TP back to the mid lane and make it back pretty quickly, when you're not there for the initial spawn, and obviously with your jungler being dead for the next 10 seconds on initial spawn, you really do just have to give it in. One Cloud Dragon, it's only the second dragon of this game. One here, absolutely just give it. You don't have to constantly fight, as I say that. There's been a kill a minute so far in this game, and it's not slowing down.
Yeah, Gu5 looking for Poro in a box, tries to smite away the wolves to get some HP, but will drop instead, handing over the true form, to this Bel'Veth, and the mid tower falling as well. Just a nice rotation coming out from NKU. We will see Kasserot walking down as well. 67 taken pretty low, but not going to fall quite yet, and Steph Top gets the job done. Nice work from Irish Top to at least block away the Shadow Surge, but Big Daddy Bard picks up the kill on the Lucian regardless. But still a nice play from NKU, just a bit aggressive from the Lucian. Chaos Rot just playing bodyguard for his jungler, but they'll walk on out just fine.
That was pretty funny. I think that might have actually been an execute for Steph Top if Big Bard didn't ult. And it was literally the Luden's proc that bounced off of Irish onto Steph Top. That was what got the kill for our Vex friend here. If there was no Luden's, if there was no bounce, if he was not standing close enough to Irish, that probably would have been an execute for Steph Top. And I would have said that was super, super worth for NKU. But the fact that they only got one turret, they only traded 1-for-1 in the mid lane there, I think it almost is more worth for the Huskies here. They are down about 2,000 gold. It is a growing gold lead here for NKU, and with that, any 1-for-1s, any plays that go slightly in the favor of the Huskies, even if it is only with a couple of gold, I would say is very worth for them here in the mid game.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, when you have a little bit of a deficit going into the mid game, any picks you can get are so incredibly strong. And it's really easy to get picks for the side of Michigan Tech as well. I mean, you have the Twitch who can go invisible. Of course, Trundle Pillar can set up so many plays as well. And then Grog is just a playmaking tank in the top lane. But it's their responsibility to find these caught out members. And it's even more the responsibility of NKU to make sure that's not a possibility. So we'll see how things progress. Some nice trading in the bot lane. Big Daddy Bard taken very low, but Ice Alarm not able to get the job done just yet. Still so strong on this Syndra. That full combo nearly, again, absolute one-shot on to Big Bard. The second Rift Herald spawning now. Could definitely see a fight for it. It will be a 4-for-4 to start. Remember, Ice Alarm, no TP, hanging out in the bot wave, pushing this one in. Big Bard, no TP as well, but now in base means that he can get there much faster if he chooses to do so. We'll see who decides to go for that engage first. Remember, now both these top laners farming away in the top lane, so no one going to go for it yet, but a first rotation from 67 means that it could be MTU trying to get this one first.
It is a little bit of a garage sale buy for both of these top laners right now. You only have that Frozen Heart completed on 67, and then other than that, like, the rest of these items pretty much are just there for early game stats. Eilish looks like he's caught in the mid lane here, but even through that Ignite and the Flash, I think he should be perfectly safe. And with that, like, half of a pick, I mean, our Irish chunked out to about 50% of his HP, and Goog5 obviously about to show bot should lock that Rift Trail going into NKU. Big Daddy Bard is able to trade 1-for-1, almost 1-for-2, but that is a massive shutdown for Big Bard. That was a 600 gold shutdown and taken away some Dark Seal stacks from Islam. Really, really nice play. Just putting it a little bit back in the Huskies' favor. And meanwhile, of course, on the top side, they were able to pick up that Rift Trail, closing the gold lead gap from about 3,000 to about 1,000.
Yeah, really nice play from Big Bard, knowing that he's going to get dove once he gets hit with the stun, but trading it back with the Shadow Surge, not only giving him that gold inflation, but like you said, taking away some Dark Steel stacks as well. Feels so good for the Vex, who's already got a decent amount of kills, but this top turret will certainly fall. Now it's a matter of if Chaos Rot will drop as well. Does still have a level disadvantage to 67. Drops the Ignite. There goes the Glacial Prison as well, but 67, so much move speed and innate sustain as well means this trade is suddenly no longer in favor of Chaos Rod. The Explosive Cask means trouble for the Sejuani, and it's another solo kill for 67. Yeah, he's trying so hard. The play almost looks good, but once that tower falls, I mean, this Gragas just has more damage than this Sejuani, especially after the way that early lane phase went. So another nice play from 67 means he gets the finish off that Sunfire Aegis, giving him a full item advantage over Chaos Rod.
Wow, I mean, let's go 67. I said I was a Huskies fan. I am absolutely a Huskies fan here. Now, Chungus Potion did complete that Bork here. Does almost kill Step Top. I mean, just the power of Bork plus Nami-E does such crazy damage. Ooh, that looked cool. Okay, you will also notice that Bork now looks blue. Don't know why they decided to do that, but it's just still Bork. Still exactly the same item. It's just a different color.
Yeah, we'll definitely see some fighting here over this second Drake of the game for both sides. NKU with the advantage first, but Goo5 trying to make a play, but taken very low. Chaos Rod dashing him, but not going to find anyone yet. 67 going to fall first to Ice Alarm. 2 Exhaust going down. Chungus Potion taken very low. Step Top low as well. The Shadow Surge not going to find anything yet, but will pick up Chaos Rod. A huge ulti takes everyone very low. Goo5 grabs the kill. The triple bubble just comes a little short, a little late. So a nice trade in the 5v5. First of the game goes in favor of NKU, the 1-for-3, but Four in a Box has access to this Blast Cone. Gonna take it first. He's just gonna turn right on a Step Top. Remember, no flash. Instantly picks up the NKU 80 carry. Irish 2 gonna turn with his jungler, looking for Four in a Box. The passive still on him, but not gonna find anything yet. The passive expires right after the W lands, but so much damage from this Bel'Veth forces away the flash of Four in a Box, but this fight has gone too long now. We're going to see some TPs coming in. The first from 67. Ice Alarm tries to land the stun, but not able to get it done yet.
Here comes
He's going to miss, but the Explosive Cask will not. Ice Alarm very low. 67 trying to find one first. Goo5 dashes in, but will only dash to his demise. Big Bard picks up that one. Double stun should keep Ice Alarm and Goo5 safe, but not for long. Chaos Rot here as well to defend his teammates. The Rift Herald drop Four in a Box very low. 67 taken decently low, and the Glacial Prison gives Chaos Rot his first kill of the game, but Ice Alarm now taking low. The stun will land on the Chungus Potion, goes 1-for-1. Goo5 will drop to Big Bard, giving a shutdown once again.
What?
Back Step Top trying to fight with his top laner Chaos Rot, but this bot tier 1 has already fallen. So much damage. The block comes out from Chaos Rot, but does mean a kill. And as the wave lands, the Shadow Surge will not. Step Top still alive, but the slow from Mandate does so much work. The culling coming down on a 67, but he's not taking very much damage. Irish 2 dashes in front to keep his 80 carry alive. But he defends him for now, but Step Top still very low. The Explosive Cask gets the job done. That's how long the fight's been going, that he's got to use it twice. It's an ace for MTU in a 4.5-minute fight where neither side gets the Drake.
Dragon is still alive. That was like literally 10 kills in a row for the Huskies. All of a sudden, they have the gold lead now. They have 2,000 gold in their favor. Remember, just 5 minutes ago, they were 3,000 down. That is a massive gold swing back in their favor, and the dragon still hasn't even been taken. I mean, I don't even know where to start beginning, like, with breaking down that team fight. There are like 3 team fights, just different places. At the beginning, it was really super NKU favored, because they just simply had the first move. They had the first setup, they had the first rotations, but then because they were first, they were also then last in respawning. And because we were so early in the game, we were only 20 minutes in the game, respawn timers are super low, and we're about to have this fight over this third dragon.
Yeah, 67 dashing in, but not going to find anything yet. Shadow Surge is back up for the Vex. We'll see who goes in first. Chaos Rot trying to find something, does have access to the Glacial Prison, but this one will be a pure 5v5. Bard standing over the side. Explosive Cast disrupts everybody for now. The wave does not get blocked, but a nice stun lands onto 4. Let's see who drops first. It'll be the Desper going down right away. Bard picks up one, dropping Goo 5, going on a rampage, and Chungus Potion has slain the Braum as well. Sejuani will finally fall, but the stun trades one back. Ice Alarm still alive, but Bard chasing him down. Nice sidestep, keeps him alive for now. Dash forward, there goes the culling. Big Daddy Bard taken very, very low, as is Poro in a box. The stun will not land, but it will be a shutdown. Handed over to Bard. No access to the Shadow Sword, no access to the Flash. Means it's going to be tough to get on top of Steph Top's Lucian, but the health bar is too low. So guess what? The Dragon is still alive, and I can almost guarantee we'll see another 5v5 in just a few minutes when everybody responds.
Okay, guys, let's take a break. We fought like probably about 20 kills for this Dragon at this point. We went from like 10 to 10 on the kill leaderboard to like, 17 to 23 now, right? But that team fight, that was an absolute 2v8 from both Desper and Big Bard. Desper hitting once again, like these triple bubbles, the 4-man knockups on the tidal wave are just absolutely insane and super consistent as well from Desper. And that is what you're really trying to pay attention to in good Nami players. And Desper has been able to do it in these past, I don't know, 3 team fights that we've had in a row for this Dragon. And then obviously, of course, the backup damage from Big Bard is what actually makes the play work. Irish, my friend, you do not have any friends holding you there.
The Shadow Surge lands onto Goo 5 after Irish drops, forcing out the flash from the Bel'Veth, but no more resets means he gets out just fine. We saw Chaos Rot head top lane, succeeding that this Dragon would go over to MTU, so they do get that advantage as well as the gold lead they've built up after those last few fights. But the unfortunate pick from the Braum, maybe trying to get a sneaky steal. Chaos Rot dashing in, but could be in some trouble. The Sejuani passive keeping him alive for now, but a nice bubble from Desper means that Chaos Rot will certainly fall as Chungus Potion picks up his 4th kill of the game. And now at the 25-minute mark, that could mean Baron on the table. Goo 5 does get spotted out by Big Bard, and instead of going for Baron, there should be a flash forward coming out. Remember, Goo 5, no access to the flash, but Bard, no access to the Shadow Surge means that they won't find a kill onto the Vex just yet, but a low health bar means that this Baron will almost certainly go over to the favor of MTU. We'll see Lucian as well as the Syndra, Ice Alarm, and Steph Top knocking away at this mid-tier 2. They will knock it down. Goo 5 has regened up quite a bit, and Steph Top
here we go
with a small HP deficit. Ice Alarm full HP, Poro in a box very, very low. They're just going to have to let the Baron reset. Chungus Potion invisible for now. 67 dashing in first, looking for Steph Top. Not going to find anything quite yet, but the pillar lands on Ice Alarm, but a beautiful stun lands on 3. Chungus Potion falls right away. It's just a matter of who goes down next. Poro in a box will drop to Steph Top, but the Shadow Surge will pick up one right away. Big
TP
Bard has already gotten to a TP coming in quickly. Irish will fall as well. 2 alive, but Goo 5 with a nice reset does pick up the Vex. W will not land. Desper still alive, fighting in the 2v2 with his top laner. Goo 5 waiting for another dash. No mana left on this Nami dashing forward. Bubble will land, but the Q comes out from Chaos Rot, meaning that this one will once again go over to Goo 5. So much action in this one. Baron does not fall. Goo 5 is not done yet. Looking for 67. This 2-item Bel'Veth going to do so much damage. Stun comes out. Shutdown goes in. Goo 5 with his 10th kill of the game. So much action here on the NECC Champions Mid-East.
Oh my god. The entire time when they were starting the Baron, in my brain, I was just thinking, we fought 5 times for the 3rd Dragon. How many team fights are we going to have for a Baron? As the Baron was obviously just started up by the Huskies, they got ace. The TPs are coming in now, but you only have 4K left on the Baron. Poro in the box does not have flash to try and get in this pit. I think this should just be secured by NKU, and in fact, it is secured by none other than Ice Alarm, the man himself. 1v9ing this early game, unfortunately died a couple times, so has lost most of his Dark Seal stacks, but this Syndra is still going to be, by far and away, their main damage dealer going into all of these mid-game team fights. Baron now is actually secured by NKU. Surprisingly enough, we only had 1 real team fight for that one, and these gold leads, like, this gold swinging is just absolutely crazy. Oh no.
Steph Top in some
Not
trouble.
again.
The Shadow Surge through the exhaust won't get the job done. Ice Alarm with the Zonias to keep himself alive for now. Nice flash means that he will not drop, but Big Bard once again making some nice plays with the Shadow Surge. Stun going to land on to the MTU mid laner, as will the W. Now Big Bard in a lot of trouble, but first it'll be Poro in a box falling down. Goo 5 goes on a rampage, gets some HP from the reset. It's just a matter of how long Desper can stay alive. Bork doing quite a bit of work. Double kill, heads over to Goo 5. He's still feared, cannot take the reset. It's another shutdown to the pocket of Big Bard, and Irish 2 in a solo 1v1 against 67. He definitely does not win that one. Q forward comes out from Chaos Rot, but in some trouble. It's just a matter of if Ice Alarm can step in to try and get a bunch of damage down, but not able to quite yet. 67 trying to secure the kill onto the Sejuani. So much CC. Chaos Rot still alive for now. Q doesn't get the job done, but the E will. 67 picks up his 8th kill of the game, and that's a lot of Baron buffs gone on the side of NKU as this tier 2 will fall. Steph Chop trying to get some damage down onto this Gragas, but he does not take much.
55 kills at the 8-minute mark here in our game 1. How many kills will we have in game 2? Take your bets now. Will it be more or less than 55 at roughly 30 minutes? Yes, you have a 17-7 Vex and a 12-7 Belveth are the two numbers that are really standing out to me right now. Also, Chaos Rot, that one kill is just carrying him right now. Maybe he has 10 deaths, but that one kill is single-handedly keeping his mental in the game. He is building full tank Sejuani. He is going to have fun in this game, no matter how many deaths he may incur. And just like that for the box, I mean, that's just a one-shot. He face-checked the bush. He saw 4 people. He did not get to live to see 4 more people.
Ice Alarm just does way too much damage. The stun doing so much work. And keep in mind, I mean, this Trundle is very far behind. He just finished that second item on that death, so very, very difficult. We're going to see a TP coming in now from Chaos Rot, so this will be a 5v4 with health advantage drastically favoring NKU so far, but they do still have this Twitch. If he's able to hit for free, it could mean a team fight potentially, but instead they'll just take a reset. Don't want to risk anything, even with Baron not on the map. So 2 Drakes for each side as NKU picks up the Ocean Drake for themselves.
And somehow, at 30 minutes, we are still sitting at a very even game state. 1v1 here not going super well anymore for Big Bard. He won this a couple of minutes ago, and apparently I spoke too soon. He does still win this. That is a 400 shutdown going over to Q5 and only 150 for Big Bard. I mean, I just can never speak. You know, the teams, they said you got a color cast here today. No, you don't. There is no color for you to cast.
67 in some trouble, but an ice bubble might keep him alive. Dashes on in, looking for Steph Top. Keep in mind the Syndra is off the map, so not as much long range CC. Oh, another triple bubble. I mean, Desper is just keeping his team alive for so long. 67 still alive.
Whoa,
dashing on in, looking for Chaos Rot. Flash forward comes out from Steph Top, but the sustain keeps him alive. Flash forward from Desper. Desper means his Gragas stays alive. I mean, this Nami is doing so much work, keeping his Gragas alive, so much in its sustain as well. Dashing forward, Steph Top not able to get the job done yet. I mean, so much fighting, like you mentioned. 67 is still chasing, but the explosive cast knocks the Irish in the wrong direction, so they get to walk on out for free after picking up that Drake with some fights in between.
I mean, if that is not the 1v9 Nami performance you wanted to see, I don't know what is. Desper, he's just smurfing out of his mind right now. The perfect flash W, the E for the extra area shield, the perfect Mikhail's on the 67 there as well. It was just all so well done by Desper. I saw it a little bit in one of those earlier team fights when he was able to buff up Big Bard super well and make him look super good in the team fight, but now it's 67, and clearly it's just Desper is the real factor in these team fights. Your absolute 1v9 gets to make the rest of the Huskies look super, super good, as unfortunately 67 may have overstayed his welcome a little bit up here on the top side. That is a 200 shutdown once again going over to Gu5. It does seem to be Gu5 picking up almost every single shutdown across the map. I think he got all of them off of Big Bard and now also 67. So this Belveth looks kind of weak, maybe, if you just look at KDA, but then you look at items and you're like, that's a 3.5 and a blue fork item. I don't know why it's blue anymore, but you know what? It is. Gu5 was going to be very scary, picking up basically every single shutdown.
Yeah, I mean, Gu5 is incredibly strong, and I mean, look at his mid laner as well. 4-item Syndra, nearly level 18, almost guaranteed that he has that second advancement. But Irish 2 in some trouble, but the Shadow Surge instead lands on to Steph Top, instantly picking up that one, but no reset for Bard means that they just get to push on away. Chaos Rot and Ice Alarm trying to make a play here to defend this inhibitor, but not going to be able to yet. But Big Daddy Bard taken very, very low. Poro in a box drops the ultimate, taking away some stats from Chaos Rot. Ice Alarm forced the flash away, but going to go down first to Chungus Potion. Gu5 trying to make a play, but now on the wrong side of the rift. Ice Alarm has fallen. Gu5 tries to buy as much time as he can, gets the exhaust as well, but 67 gonna pick up the kill I mean, Michigan Tech doing a nice job here, and they've got a small wave. They might just try and push. Death timers are quite long. Irish up in 5 seconds and Steph Top up in 10. The only person who can defend is Chaos Rod.
Oh.
And there's not much he can do. He's stuck on the pillar. TP coming in now, but Chaos Rod's going to fall down first. Irish 2 trying to buy as much time as he can, but it's just a matter of if these bot laners can defend the Nexus. They'll try and take down Desper first. He will go down. So much damage from Bard. Takes him out instantly, and it's another double kill. 22 kills for Big Bard. I mean, this game was so centered around both these mid laners, and such a hectic game from start to finish. So much fighting, but in the end, it is Michigan Tech Huskies taking the win behind an absolute phenomenal performance from Big Daddy Bard.
And Desper! Let's go, Desper! I'm a support man. I gotta cheer on my fellow support
I
mains.
agree. I mean, the Nami popped off.
I mean, this was the bot lane that I talked about a little bit in draft, where they are the duo grad students, where we were assuming going into the game that they were going to have all of this bonus synergy, and it wasn't even like they needed synergy. It was just Desper was hitting these consistent 3-man, 4-man bubbles, tidal waves. Like, the setup from this Nami was so insane that it just allowed the solo laners to have the time of their lives one-shotting people, and they made a pretty good comeback as well. Remember, they were about 3,000 or 4,000 gold down at the 15-minute mark, but because of all the fiestas, because of all the damage they were able to do, because Vex got super fed, it just kind of didn't matter that the early game didn't go their way. The Twitch eventually scaled up as well. Like, the Bork was completed pretty early at about the 12-minute mark, and from there, you just get to do the damage that you want to when you lock in Twitch that early in a draft.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and it's important to notice Michigan Tech Huskies taking the win here in game 1, but they did have a deficit. This game was very close. Lots of back and forth team fights. It just all came down to that last one in their base, giving them the win. But that inclination of game 1 makes me think that game 2 will be even more exciting. We'll have that here in just a few minutes. Don't go anywhere.
Left a star glowing in your eyes when I'm not aware. You left a scar. I fall into your lies all again. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Let me feel it. Fall into you. I found a ray dripping down your eyes when I'm not around. I found myself, but I fall into your lies all again. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Let me feel it. Let me feel it. Fall into you.
I'm with you, I am able to keep pushing my limits. And all the drive that I have, well, I'm going the distance with you. I didn't know what I had till I knew what was missing. And everything that I dread, well, I built a resistance with you. Catch me when I fall, and I'll keep you on the ground. You were gone, I wish you'd stay. I could look at you for days. Time was well spent, that's when I knew that I need to spend my life here with you. Take your time, not in the fast lane. I understand that you've been broken too many times, but I'll be waiting to mend your wounds from all you've taken. But if we listen to each other, admit our mistakes, then I can show you who I am, because I'm not the same. I'm better with you. I'm better with you. I'm better with you. Catch me when I fall. You know I'll keep you on the ground. That's when I knew that I need to spend my life here with you.
The seasons come and go like thoughts of you. Like a wave returns to the sea, into the blue. They change, but in a cycle that I can't lose. Each painful but delightful to live through. You came into my life just like another season. Not for long, just a time, just like another season. Maybe this time next year you'll reappear for no reason, but I'll cherish every day until you come my way this season.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our Week 6 matchup here on the NECC broadcast. Once again, I'm Camcom. Joining me here today on the desk for your 5 p.m. matchup is, again, Paladino. We've got a best of 3 week 6 matchup during week 7 here. Again, this is a rescheduled game, so both these teams are playing doubleheaders tonight, but we only get to see their first game here today. The Huskies taking on NKU. Huskies in a surprising comeback, almost, I don't even know how many kills, like a 3 kill a minute type
Yeah.
of game. Full fiesta, 5 team fights per dragon type of game one here. Huskies were able to come out on top. Now we have swapped sides. Huskies now taking the blue side. We have very, very different draft strategies. I'm excited to reveal the drafts to you all here in the beautiful Twitch chat today. But Paladino, pretending like you haven't seen draft yet, what changes, I guess, in play styles should we expect to see between game 1 and game 2, if any?
I mean, yeah, changes in playstyles, I really don't know. I think maybe if you're NKU, I mean, that game was sort of in your hands. You had a small lead. It wasn't anything too wild. I think a lot of the problems they had really happened on both sides of just overstaying, letting things go a little bit long. I mean, we saw like the 4-minute Drake fight go on. I think either of that, or for either team, that's preventable. Just swapping over kills, giving over gold, a lot of shutdowns given away that game. I don't want to necessarily see them play slower because I like exciting games like that. But I think if you're NKU, just playing a little bit more reserved, trying to recognize when you have a gold lead and then go from there and try to build on that as opposed to playing a little bit more risky. But even though you said try to ignore the drafts, these drafts are hard to ignore.
I saw some spoilers in the Twitch chat here that Huskies were going for a different draft strategy is how I'm going to put it here. We have some champions that I personally like to play. I think they're very fun to play. But are they good and competitive? No.
Well, I mean, even without giving spoilers, after seeing this B1 Scion that we saw earlier on in the pre-draft, I'm not sure what the draft actually, I thought I knew what it was, but now I'm pretty confused. So we see the bands come out: Blitzcrank, Nami, Syndra, Fiddlesticks, Caitlyn, Pantheon. A lot of the same bands. We do see the Nami and the Syndra band away, but first 3 for the side of Michigan Tech will be the Scion, Kindred, and Aatrox mid. And then on the other side for NKU would be Ornn, Graves, and Victor.
Yes. Let me begin breaking down this draft and all of the extensive research that I have on these champions and these rules. Yes.
Of course.
For those of you who don't know, I run a Fearless tournament on the side, just on my own. Some of these champions here kind of looking a little bit like a Fearless draft for game 2. So it was Aatrox B1. Aatrox was banned away on red side by the Huskies, so obviously with them swapping sides now, they didn't have to ban Aatrox, and NKU made the decision to leave Aatrox up, so of course that was going to be the B1 first pick Aatrox almost every single time for the Huskies, just because of how strong of a power pick it is. Now, we saw this B1 Aatrox, we were like, okay, it's gonna go top lane. No, it's not. It was a B2, B3 Senna Scion. So then in our beautiful caster brains, we were like, okay, it's gonna be a Senna Scion bot lane, and they're swapping it now. So it's
they have swapped.
maybe,
okay, that makes
maybe.
more sense.
It is gonna be a Senna Scion bot lane, which is also something that we have not gotten to see in a hot minute. But you know what? I'm excited.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, the real thing I would like to mention for the red side draft for NKU, that I think really kind of summarizes everything. All you have to take into account is just look at the side of Michigan Tech Huskies draft, right? So they have Udyr top AD carry jungler, Aatrox mid, Senna Scion bot lane, so a double AD bot lane. NKU with R5, just pick Ornn. I don't know how Michigan Tech is going to be able to kill Ornn yeah, when he gets the 3 items. I mean, Udyr does some AP damage, but he's not an AP character in nature. He's going to almost assuredly be going some form of tank build. Um, I don't know how they're going to kill the Ornn. I mean, when you talk about breaking down the NKU draft, it's a lot less exciting, much more standard. Graves, incredibly powerful right now. Victor, very standard control mage in the mid lane. Kai'Sa Nautilus, seen some more prevalence. We saw it last year during things like MSI and things like that, but very, very strong. Lots of easy engage tools for the side of NKU. Their draft is a lot easier to execute, whereas Michigan Tech is going for something a lot more spicy. It's definitely something that I'm excited to watch, but I still have this very deep-seated concern of, hey guys, what do we do when Ornn gets 3 items? How do we kill an Ornn when you have double 80 carry and your solo lanes both do 80 damage and you don't have an AP support? You have a Senna and your farming champ in the bot lane is a Scion who also does 80 damage. It's a bit troubling for me personally. It's true. Mhm. Oh yeah. Yeah. Exactly. I mean, even more so than last game, this game, our junglers are even more kind of go in. You want to invade, you want to impact your lanes. Instead of going from Belveth to Trundle, we now have Kindred and Graves. I mean, Kindred obviously wants to get into these lanes, wants to invade, needs to get those marks. Graves, we've seen so much priority in Worlds. He's always going to go for those invades. But we're going to go to a quick break. We'll be back